Oh, what a beautiful mooner. Oh, what a beautiful day. And have you had a great day today because you're in shape, you're healthy, you're fit and you're strong? Rephrase, is it easier to have a great day when you start the day looking in the mirror, loving what you see? If you stand on the scales and weigh yourself, you're happy with what you weigh, and you can go and do all the things that you want to do. So do you have a stack of energy? Are you performing at your best every day? Do you love what you see in the mirror? Do you love what your body feels to touch? And are you getting the results that you want from your eating plan, your exercise plan? And that's what I always ask. But that's become very boring. It seems that the world wants to lose weight. We have a big weight problem. We've got people who consider themselves to be overweight, so they're mentally feeling really crappy, versus people who are obese, so their weight is affecting their health. And then we have morbid obesity, which is you're going to die because you're overweight. Your body's going to shut down, and unless we put in some kind of pharmaceutical intervention to keep you alive, you're actually going to die. So wherever you sit on that scale, healthy, fit and strong, need to lose a little bit of weight, you think you do, overweight, obese, morbidly obese, the world has been looking for a solution to all of those challenges for a very long time. How to stay healthy, fit and strong, and if you need to change the shape of your body, do you have to eat well, do you have to exercise, or could there be a pill, powder, potion, pharmaceutical intervention? And guess what? There now is. The world has created a weight loss drug and people are losing massive amounts of weight really quickly. So we're talking about 25 to 30% of your body weight now. If you take the latest current drugs, you will lose 25 to 30%, if not more, of your current weight. So if you're morbidly obese, that could save your life. Of course, the people that want to look good for their wedding, or they want to look good for a party, or they want to look good because they're a social media influencer, a celebrity, a movie star, a sports star, and they're going to an event, you only have to look at the latest of those big events. So the Golden Globes, the Academy Awards, the Country Music Awards, the Met Gala event in New York, the Cannes Film Festival, and have a look how the celebrities are looking, and you'll probably notice they're looking very thin. So isn't it awesome that you can now take a drug and lose weight? I'm a very old lady who's lived on the planet a very long time, been dedicated and committed to helping people to be healthy, fit and strong all of my life. So I've had to take a very careful look at this particular drug. And in my lifetime, there's been lots of them. Everything from weight loss drugs that kill you, and there literally were some of those in the 60s and 70s. There were some weight loss drugs that caused you to lose weight, but they also created spontaneous anal leakage, so your butt leaked poo, and you didn't feel like you needed to do a poo. The poo would just come out. But you know, when that drug came out, there were a lot of people that didn't care. They wore a nappy because they just wanted to lose weight. They wanted to be skinny. They wanted to be thin. And that's a challenge we've got now. Everybody wants to look good, or seems to want to look good, even though we've got a body acceptance association, movement, groups of people who say it doesn't matter what you look like. It seems that people still want to be skinny, and the reason we know that is that these weight loss drugs are now, the companies that are producing them are the most financially successful in the world, and people are buying them, and they're very expensive. You get one injection every week. They're looking to make it a pill form so that you don't have to get an injection, but they're very expensive. So will they work for you? Do they work? What will happen in the future? And there's some very important questions to be asked there. If you take this weight loss drug, will you lose weight? The answer is absolutely yes, because they are an appetite suppressant. Isn't that awesome? You won't want to eat as much. It's not even that you'll be hungry and you have to go, I have to starve myself or diet. You actually don't feel like eating. So you don't. So you lose weight, of course. Isn't that awesome? Small challenge to consider, and I'm going to use a random analogy. Let's just say that you were given a car, or you had to buy a car that was going to last you for the rest of your life. So whether you are 18 or 28 or 78, there was only one more car that you could buy. It had a big engine, it had an effective engine, it had an engine that could drive you for the rest of your life and take you anywhere you wanted to go. So you bought the car and you were really happy with it because it was powerful and it was strong and it looked good. But somebody came along and said, we've got this great new product. If you put it on your car once a week, your car will not only look good now, but it'll keep looking good. You'll have to keep using it for the rest of your life. It's very expensive, but your car will get more gorgeous and better looking, and it'll be beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful for the rest of your life. Ha ha. The small side effect of this thing that makes your car look beautiful is it's going to screw up the engine. The engine's going to get smaller. It's going to become less reliable. It's going to become so unreliable that you'll get to the point where you can only park the car in the garage because the car won't go anywhere. The engine's going to be wrecked, but it'll look bloody good. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic, and this is my begging position. Something to really consider, because it sounds very exciting that there's a weight loss drug. And again, the celebrities and movie stars are screaming from the rooftops, isn't it awesome that I can be thin and I just have to take one injection, an expensive injection, once a week? Challenge. The weight loss, most of it is coming from muscle, the engine of your body. Your engine is your metabolism. A lot of people say to me, I don't care if I get a slow metabolism because when I'm on this drug, I don't feel like eating anyway. So I can't get fat from eating too much because I don't feel like eating. But when you're as old as I am, and I'm standing outside, it's freezing cold, it's below zero today, and I am an old lady who's lived on the planet a very long time. And being thin, being skinny used to be probably very important to me when I was 20 and 30. But now that I'm an old lady and I want to be able to go outside in the freezing cold and climb mountains, ride my bike, go hiking, work in the garden, be a fit, strong, healthy lady all of my life, the only thing that allows me to do that is my muscle. And you're the same. The two biomarkers for aging are loss of muscle and loss of strength. That's the two things that make us get old really fast, is to lose muscle, which means you lose strength, which means you can't do stuff. Which means, like the car analogy, you end up having to stay, if you lose muscle, you end up having to sit on the couch, sit in the garage like the car. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything because your body doesn't work anymore. And if you have a look at old people that are really thin, so obviously people think that as you get older you get fatter, but there are some people that are very old or older and they're thin, but they're hunched over, they've got no muscle left, their bones are rotting away because they've got osteoporosis, and that combination, your strong muscles pull on your bones to keep your bones strong, and your immune system is built inside your bones. So if your muscle wastes away, then your bones waste away, bone thinning disease, osteoporosis, which means you have a weak immune system, which means you get sick as you get older, you get diseases as you get older because your body can't fight them, you can't do anything as you get older, and you end up in a wheelchair not being able to go anywhere because you've got osteoporosis, weak muscles, weak bones, and a weak immune system. That's what happens when you lose muscle. Muscle's very heavy. So as you lose muscle, when you stand on the scales and you've lost muscle, you're going to lose a lot of weight. The interesting thing about fat, it's not very heavy. It's big, but it's not very heavy. So when you lose muscle and you stand on the scale, you'll lose a lot of weight. Another interesting take note when you lose a lot of weight as you get older, I often joke at my house, I have to sacrifice my ass, and a lot of women do have to sacrifice their ass for their face. Because if you lose too much weight, too much anything off your body, it ends up showing in your face. And if you have a look at some of the celebrities that have been on this weight loss drug, you'll see that as they lose weight, muscle weight, they get really thin, but so does their face because they're losing muscle out of their face as well, and they're looking very old, very thin and very old. And some of them are not very old, but the challenge is what happens when you get older and your muscles have wasted away and you can't do the things that you want to do. What happens to your quality of life? Now, a lot of people don't care. And at 20 and 30, I worked with people who didn't care if their bum was leaking. They just wanted to be thin. And there's a lot of people now that don't care. I just want to get this drug, be thin and go to a party. Be thin and look great in my wedding dress. Be thin and... But what about the future? Do you want to be an old lady, an old man, who can run around with your grandkids, can still dance, play sport, climb mountains, go water skiing, make love to your partner when you're 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years of age? Or do you want to be that old person that's in a wheelchair, all hunched over, not being able to do anything? Now that's, again, I'm going to share very passionately, muscle controls all of that. And these weight loss drugs are taking between 1 to 3 decades of muscle out of your body. Now, men can build muscle back because they have testosterone. Women, we can't build muscle, we can only replace what we've lost. But the challenge is if you're weak and frail, you probably won't want to replace the muscle that you've lost because you don't feel like it, you don't have any energy, you feel tired and lethargic because your muscle's wasted away. Pharmaceutical drugs all have a side effect. The future of these pharmaceutical drugs we don't know because they're brand new. So what will happen to your body in a year's time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? We do know that your muscle will waste away because these drugs are long term. You can't go on them and come off them. You have to go on them and stay on them, otherwise the weight will come back. So we do know that you'll have poor quality of life because your muscle will have wasted away, and you'll probably look very old very soon because your face is caved in. But what are the side effects? And here's the interesting one. The minor don't care too much about these side effects. They make you feel sick and nauseous. You vomit, or you could vomit a lot. You'll have diarrhea or constipation or both. And you won't feel very good, but you'll look good because you'll be skinny. I don't want to feel nauseous ever. These drugs will make you feel nauseous, apparently. Not everybody, but most. If you vomit a lot or if you poo a lot, you're at a very high risk of dehydration, which of course you can die from dehydration. And then if you screw up the tract that goes from your mouth to your bum, that's called your gastrointestinal tract, that's where the nutrients that you eat get spread throughout your body. And apparently this drug is doing some serious damage to that tract from your mouth to your bum. So if you screw that up, you could have long-term side effects of your body not being able to absorb nutrients, which means, again, you'll get very sick and you'll die. And if you screw up your gut, for example, serotonin, which is the satisfaction neurotransmitter in your brain that makes you feel good, that's produced inside your gut. If you screw up your gut, then your brain's going to be affected as well. So you may end up depressed, anxious, feel horrible about yourself, but you'll be skinny. We don't know the long-term side effects, and they could be major, but we don't know because the drug hasn't been on the market for a very long time. What we do know is that millions of people are taking them, and so they've now got millions of people to test, millions of people to do studies on. And I'll share again, the minor side effects are nausea, diarrhea, constipation, feel horrible, feel depressed, but I'm skinny. The boring solution to the outcome of wanting to look and feel good is to be healthy, fit and strong. So get puffed to be fit, lift heavy to get strong, produce a body that's got strong muscles, strong bones, strong endocrine system, strong central nervous system, strong cardiovascular and respiratory system, so that you can be fit and strong. And the side effect of being fit and strong is that you'll be lean. You'll have a body that will burn up everything that you put into it. So you literally can eat whatever you want to. You don't feel like eating too much. See, this drug stops you from eating too much. But when you're really fit and strong, your body, your endocrine system, your hormones will tell you, I don't want to eat too much. I'm full because my hormonal system's working and I don't need to overeat. But the side effect of being fit and strong is great hair, great skin, great nails. Some of the things that these poor folks are suffering from on this drug is that those things are not working well because they're not getting the right nutrition, the right nutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, antioxidants going through their body because they've screwed up the tract that goes from their mouth to their bum. I don't want to be constipated. I don't want to have diarrhea. I don't want to have a very thin face that makes me look very old. I don't care if I've got a bit of fat on my ass as long as I'm still looking young as I get older. And all of that comes from feeling vibrant, energetic, having a positive attitude and being fit and being strong. And of course that outcome and the outcome's awesome, but the solution is really boring. Who wants to exercise and who wants to eat healthy food to be in great shape and have long life and great quality of life? That's a very boring solution, Rowie. Well, I'm good for boring. I want to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of my life. I'm already an old lady and I plan on being around for a very long time, barring accident. I'm very aware of pharmaceutical drugs causing challenges, and all I can ask is this, and it's never for adults because adults can do whatever you want. You can take drugs, you can drink, you can smoke, you can gamble, you can do whatever it is to destroy your body and your brain because you're an adult, you can choose to do that. But we now have small children because they're overweight, and some of them not even because they're obese, just because they're overweight. Parents are putting them on these drugs. They're screwing up their mouth to their butt tract at a young age. They're taking muscle out of a body that's still growing and they're putting them on a drug that's going to decrease the amount of muscle that they've got. I don't want that for our kids. And most importantly, I don't want our kids to grow up in a world thinking that if I want to be thin, I've got to take a drug. And they're not concerned about being healthy. They're not concerned about being fit and strong. And of course, if you've got low muscle, if you've lost muscle, you become weak. You feel tired. You feel lethargic. You can't be bothered going to do stuff because your body's weak. Adults can do whatever they want, and they are by the millions. But what about our kids? Do we really want our kids to grow up on pharmaceutical drugs that screw up their body when they could be outside in the fresh air? And I've got to tell you, it's very fresh. I hope you can see the moon in the background. My fingers are freezing. I could lose a lot of weight, by the way, if I take my jacket off because it's really heavy. So if I stand on the scales now, I'm probably 5 kilos, 6, 7 kilos heavier than I would normally be. If I take my jacket off, I'll be lighter. But it won't make my life any better, and it won't make my body look any better. I'll just have my jacket off. There's another analogy I always use. I could chop my leg off and I'd lose a lot of weight. I'd lose muscle, I'd lose bone, I'd lose fluid, which is what happens when you go on a diet. My dogs are agreeing with me. But my life would be debilitated. I wouldn't be able to have great quality of life because I would have lost a leg. Now, I would still find a way to have great quality of life, but I don't want to lose a leg. Go, kids! So I'm not going to chop my leg off to lose weight. I don't want to do something to my body that's going to screw up my body so that I can weigh lighter on the scales. You can do whatever you want to, but what about our kids? And if you're an exercise professional, please study very carefully what this drug is doing to the human body. And we don't know what it's going to do long term. There are some very serious diseases that are showing, and I can't say you're going to get these diseases, but it's possible, but we don't know long term. So how about just get fit and strong and live your life to the max as a healthy, fit, strong person, because you get puffed to get fit, you lift heavy to get strong, you've got strong muscles and bones that can take you wherever you want to go. So you can live your life to the max. Check out the mooner. Woohoo!